Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Lori. Today, very long overdue what sold video coming your way. My channel is called Lori's Boston Found, where thrifted is the new black. Welcome everybody. I always get pretty geared up for my what sold video, and it's getting to be a little much to do just once a month. So I'm thinking that in the month of December, I am going to do 2 what sold videos so I can bring you more information at one time and not make it so incredibly long. And then I think in January, I'm gonna try my hand at vlogging. So I'm gonna try to bring you like daily sales or every couple of days sales. We'll see, that's my plan for January. So I want to jump right in and welcome anybody who is new to my channel. Today is December 12th, so I am very late in reporting my November sales. Things have been super busy and it's a great thing, but I have to admit, I went full-time at the end of August. I was a part-time reseller for a year. At the end of August, start of September, I decided to go full-time. Greatest decision ever. However, this is the first time, honestly, in my adult life since I was like 24 that I have worked full-time. I feel very lucky to say that, but at the same time, I'm like, woo, this full-time gig with YouTube and Instagram and Poshmark sales. I've expanded a little bit to eBay. The holidays are here. My head is spinning, but I'm still smiling. Sorry, you're gonna have to compete with the funky light coming in here. It's just that time of day where my office gets kind of flooded with light. But thanks again for joining me. Let's get into it. In the month of November on Poshmark, my sales, so I had 2 returns and I had to cancel 1 item. This does not include that, so I will go over that a little bit later, but all in, my sales on Poshmark were $3,705, which I think is an all-time high for me in 1 month span. What else do I have here? On eBay, which has picked up for me a little bit, my sales were $262, which I was really excited about in the month of November. And then I also had some direct sales to people who had watched my my videos and ordered things directly through PayPal, like before they hit Poshmark or eBay. So with those sales included, it was my first time ever tipping the sales number to 4,000. So I was really excited, like just over. And honestly, with the couple of returns I had, it probably brought me under, but I was really excited that I even got to $4,000 in sales. So right now, my current goal is to sell about $150 per day. And if we do that over the course of a year, that should get me to over $50,000 in sales for the year, not profit, just sales. Profit is always very different. I am pretty transparent. I share a lot of my cost of goods to you, but sometimes it gets confusing as we're going through things. So today, if I know my cost of goods, I will let you know. And if I don't, we'll just keep on going. Today is mostly to talk about like the categories of things that did well for me in the month of November, things that I've had for a long time, my highest sales, all that fun stuff. I have some fun categories. So let's go ahead and get started with my highest priced sales. So for this particular month, I am going to highlight sales that were over $60. And I have 8 items that range between $63 and $85. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you about them. So first off, coming in at $63 was this ever popular Barefoot Dreams sweater that I picked up at a little honey hole of a thrift store that I love to go to just outside of Boston. I paid $5.50 for this and it sold for $63 fairly quickly on eBay. Very excited about that. I love my eBay sales because they just surprise me. One of these days I'm gonna get a Barefoot Dreams sweater and keep it. They are so cozy. They are fantastic. If you own one, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so next up, for $65, I sold to a viewer, thank you so much, this Haan vegan leather jacket. I think I shared in my haul, I picked this up at Plato's Closet. It was new with tags, and I was out of my mind excited because I thought it was real leather, and I paid $20 or $25, or I paid $25, I had a coupon, it was between $20 and $25. And then I got home and I started to do research. It felt like leather. I should have known. I just got caught up and I was excited. But when I got home, I realized that it was vegan leather. And then I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna make my money back on this. And to my delight, I had a viewer who was watching and wanted to get it. And I'm so excited. I'm sure she rocked it and it looked great on her. So that's sold for $65. So anyways, that was a pretty decent return on that. And it was a fast flip because she saw the video and contacted me. So that was great. Next up, I have quite a few things that sold at $68. That might be like a fun number. But the first thing is this Betsey Johnson. It's a vintage, like kind of a coat cardigan sort of thing with this ribbon tie, empire waist. Looks like it's from the early 2000s or late 90s. But I bought this at a Goodwill in Connecticut where the prices were astronomically expensive. I paid $10 for this, which around here I wouldn't have. But I was in a store where the prices were super high and I found this and took a chance. And I was actually really shocked that this sold for the full price, full asking price of $68. So I paid 10, I sold it for 68. You have to subtract the Poshmark fees, which would be about $13. So again, a really nice return on that. Another item that came in, all right, this item blew me away. I'm gonna talk about some brands today that were certainly new to me. Hopefully they're new to you too. My mother had given me a pair of shoes that she picked up at a yard sale for $1, and she bought them for herself. And they didn't fit her properly. So she said, do you want to sell these? And I looked at them and they were very much, not necessarily my style, but they were made in Italy. I could just tell that the structure of the shoe was really well made. So I looked them up and okay. So I think the pronunciation is Robotin. So it's spelled Thierry. Robotin. So these were flats. She paid $1. The retail was over $400 on these shoes. I've never seen the brand before. I haven't seen them since. I didn't believe that they would sell for much at all. Comps, I couldn't find a ton of comps in the resale world. Anyways, I listed them for $68 and I was kind of like, I'm winging this. Like, honestly, I probably would have taken $25 if somebody had offered it to me. But anyways, I listed them, forgot about them. I have over 1,000 listings on Poshmark. I didn't really think about them. And one day someone bought them full price for $68. I was pumped. So yeah, that brand is great. I should have probably looked at how to pronounce it first, but I'm sorry. But you have the name now. $68 for those. Another brand I love to sell, especially in the boots, are just such great quality. Didn't know about this brand until I started reselling. Stumbled on a pair of the sneakers from this designer at Savers, listed them. They sold really fast. I probably featured them in a previous video. The brand is Paul Green. So these booties, I believe I got at the bins in New Hampshire, so they probably cost no more than $3, all weight in. I pay $1.39 at my Goodwill outlet. So anyways, these sold relatively quickly for $68. I can't remember if that's what I priced them at, but I think it is. Or maybe I priced them at $70 and $75 and took an offer. But anyways, bottom line, they sold for $68 and I was really happy. Okay, so the next thing is another new brand. Oh my gosh. Okay. Mason Kitsun, MaisonKitsun. I was shopping at Savers, not the one I always go to, the one in Natick that's close by. And I saw this sweatshirt and it was a collaboration between this Mason Kitsun and Reebok. And it was honestly just like a soft crew neck sweatshirt with like an embroidered like old school baseball patch. I'm a big baseball fan. It was a collaboration with Reebok, which Reebok is not a brand I pick up very often. I had a feeling about it. The quality was really nice. I think it was marked $7.99. I had a 20% off coupon, which is actually a little more money than I would spend on a brand I didn't know anything about, but I decided to pick it up. And I went home and I did the comps, and the comps were great. And again, this was one that I'm like, I'm not sure if this is going to sell. I shouldn't say that the comps were great. I should say that the retail was great. Over $200 or $150 or something like that, over $100. And so I was like, oh, this is kind of exciting. So I listed it and forgot about it. And it sold for full price for $70. Oh no, I take that back. I think I listed it at $85 and I got a $70 offer, and I was like, yes. So I paid like $5.50 and it sold for $70. So yeah, I love, one of my most favorite things about this job is doing the research. I love finding brands and coming home. I will purchase something and take a chance on something just to come home and research it. Sometimes it ends up being a brand like this, and sometimes it ends up being a Walmart brand that I didn't know they carried. No, not often. But yeah, I love to research stuff. So it's interesting that in my highest priced items, that three of the items or two of the items were brands I've never heard of. So yeah, keep your eyes open, use your senses to look at things and make sure, you know, if the quality's nice or the fabric content is nice, don't be afraid to pick it up if it's not a brand you don't recognize. Okay, so that was $70. I have two more items in this category. These boots I got at the next item. These boots are Ralph Lauren Purple Label, which Ralph Lauren has a hierarchy of quality. And black and purple, I believe, are their top two. I'm not sure which is at the top. I think black might be, but I'm not sure. Anyways, these were Purple Label booties right next to like Steve Madden beat up sneakers that were marked $12.99. Were these gorgeous? I'm always fascinated when I find any shade of white at the bins or Goodwill that is in this beautiful of condition. These boots were stunning. Very few, I think there was a tiny bit of a mark maybe on the heel. They had these really nice high heels, gorgeous structure. They were marked $9.99. I listed them for $100, or I listed them for like $99, somewhere along there. I should write this stuff down, but I don't. So I either listed them between like $95 and say $105, or anyway, I got an offer for $75 and I was very happy. I had $10 in after they take their fees, which would be about $14.50 or $15. So after that, I still made about $50 on these boots, which was great. And then the highest selling item for the month of November for me were these pair of Mother jeans, Mother Insider jeans. And these were new with tag. This was retail arbitrage. Sometimes this is why I like to share my cost of goods, because sometimes the stuff that gets the most money, I put the most money into. And for people who are watching me who are other resellers who might be new and wondering, wow, like, does she get $85 back on most of the things she picks up at the bin? Not really. My bin stuff, that's usually $20 to $30 items. The occasional Paul Green booties will bring me back a higher return. But my average selling price, which I didn't figure out for this month, I'll have to do that, is typically between $30 and $32. So anyway, these jeans, I believe, I either paid $10 or $20 for them. It's definitely one of those. And I want to say it was $9.99 at Anthropologie. They were a 24 and they were a tall. I think that's what their size was. But I knew the brand and the fact that they were new with tags. They were over $200, like $260 pant jeans. I had a feeling they were going to sit for a while. I think I priced them at like $110 or $100. But anyway, somebody offered me $85. And I was nervous because she said that she wasn't very tall, but she wanted to wear them with big heels. So I gave her the measurements. Wasn't sure if I was going to get any pushback on that, but I got a great rating for them. So she must have loved them. So that was great. So that was my highest selling item for the month of November. And yeah, all of those things with the exception of the Barefoot Dreams were sold on Poshmark. So let's move on to our next category. So those were our highest. Let's do my By Felicia section. So if you're new to my channel, is this getting old? I feel like I need a new terminology, a new term for This has been in my closet forever, and please go away. So this little quote is from a movie, and it's just like, bye Felicia, like get out of my closet. You've been here forever. Every one of us has those items that we are so excited to see go. Not that they're not wonderful pieces, but for some reason, certain items just linger in our closet. The items that I was super happy to say goodbye to. Okay, we'll start easy. So you, if you've watched my videos before, you know if I have a brick background, it means it's from like September to October. I didn't have it very long, of 2018. So anything with a brick background means it's over a year old. So anything with a brick background is automatically a Buy Felicia piece when I sell it. I'm always happy to see a brick background piece be sold. So we're going to start with one of those items, and it was this Lucky Brand striped men's button-down shirt. Not a bad shirt. I am picking up less and less button-down shirts unless they're a really good brand. I probably would not pick this up again unless maybe I was at the bins. I don't like high maintenance things. I'm liking them less and less. Certain things I'll put time into. This was not one of them. And by time, I mean extra time steaming. Not that I had to like correct a stain or anything. Like I just don't want to steam button-down shirts sometimes unless they're worth a lot of money. This sold for $20. I thought that was a great price given the fact that I had had it for over a year. Probably had it listed around $28, took a $20 offer. The next piece, and I have two of these, so now I have one. This was something when I first got into reselling, it was August of 2018, and I hit up the yellow tag sale at TJ Maxx, and I think I spent $200 and bought like 50 items, something crazy like that over the course of a couple weeks. So this Beacon Cove maxi dress, my daughter and her friend modeled them for me, and they laughed when I put them in these, but they looked so cute. So I've had these in my closet for as long as you've seen it. It doesn't have the brick background. This was before the brick background. So it has been in my closet for some time. I didn't provide measurements. I had packaged them up and kind of forgotten about them. And I was surprised that they sold in the month of November because they are summery items. They had a blue and a yellow, and one of them sold, and it sold for $25. So I was really happy to see that go. I paid $5 for these maxi dresses, $5 each, and they were new with tags. So I still have one left. If anybody's traveling, hit me up. Okay, so what's next on my Buy Felicia? Oh, this sweater I was actually excited to find because when I was a kid, the United Colors of Benetton were huge, and I was born in 1973, so I was an 80s girl, like in my preteen, middle school days, and the Benetton shirt, the classic rugby Benetton that had like Benetton across the front with the popped collar. You put the collar up with your peg jeans, you were styling. So I have a thing for Benetton. It was a big deal to own Benetton when I was a kid with no money. So I found this Benetton sweater. It was vintage. This was last year, red and green, and I thought, this is great. It's vintage, it's Benetton, it's wool, it's made in Italy. Actually, like a really great piece. And I think I want to say I paid like $7 for it at Savers. Nothing, got a ton of likes, no movement. I sent out so many offers on this. I think I actually marked it not for sale for a while. Like I didn't want to share it anymore. I didn't want to look at it anymore. And then this year, all the grandpa sweaters were all the rage, or are all the rage, and I'm having some success selling them. So I decided to drop the price again, or maybe I raised the price. I think I might have raised the price on this. This is one of the things I've just messed with so many times. But I think in the end, what sold it was the change of the name. I called it a grandpa sweater, and it finally moved, and it sold for $15. Not a big profit on that. If I wanted to put more energy into it, I would have taken it down completely and done a new listing on it and marked the price up to maybe $25, $30. And I bet I would have done all right with it given the time of year and the trend that is pretty hot right now. So anyways, sometimes what is wonderful, even 6 months prior to when you pick something up. I mean, honestly, fashion changes really fast and trends change really quickly. So in that case, it worked to my advantage because it came into trend when last year it wasn't necessarily big. The next item is from my daughter's closet. I bought her, I had this habit where I would buy her cashmere sweater like every Christmas time because I would go shopping on Black Friday, and Lord & Taylor always sold their cashmere sweaters. They always had like a doorbuster sort of sale, so I would pick her one up, and I think by the third year she's like, Mom, I'm not wearing these cashmere sweaters. She had a pink one that she had worn a couple times, but this one was like a very pale gray, and it was new with tags, and she put it in her donate pile, and I said, please don't like toss this, like I need to review this. Anyways, I've had it listed for a long time. The holly, that is the pine, and I think this is a brick background. I'm not looking at it right now, but this was all from last year. So this has been listed for over a year. A lot of interest, a lot of lowball offers. I think I paid $40. I started at $55. The price tag on it was $165. In the end, I sold it for $35. So long term, I took a hit on this, but I think I gave it to her in 2016. So it's been in my home for a long time, and I'm so happy that somebody got a brand new cashmere sweater for $35. So that is another one. Okay, the next two items were both, even though they're by Felicia items, I was happy that they sold because they sold on eBay. And I think they sold on eBay. They've been listed on eBay for as long as they had been listed on Poshmark. So a very, very long time. In fact, actually, no, I take that back. Neither one of these was listed on Poshmark. They've been on eBay for over a year. And eBay has been kind of dormant for me. But since I started using Vendoo and cross-listing to eBay, I've noticed some of my older items have been selling. So like anything, the more you list, the more you sell. And I was really excited that when I started to cross-post more over the past month or two, I've noticed that a couple of my much older items have sold on eBay. So these are two of those items. One is just a basic black girls North Face zip-up jacket. It sold for $30. Bye, Felicia. Happy to see that go. And $30 is actually a good price for that. Not always getting $30 on North Face these days. So that was good. This other piece I kept saying to myself I was going to list on Poshmark. So the brand INC Inc., it's Macy's brand. I actually like their stuff. Like when I happen to be shopping in Macy's for myself, I really like that department. They have some trendy pieces. Well, this was a brand new with tag jacket, like a faux leather, and it had been listed for a really long time. I feel like I might have moved this a little bit faster on Poshmark had I listed it. Anyways, it ended up selling for $35. I believe I got this at the bins, or I paid like under $5 for it. So good return, and happy to see it go. Happy it went to a new home. This last item, this was one of those things, again, that received so many likes. I just don't know why it didn't move. I've had it for over a year. It's a Bebe or BB sateen, like cropped jacket. Very cute. I think I probably priced it too high in the beginning. I honestly think I had it over $50. It was when I was relatively new to reselling. Probably priced it high right out of the gate. And if I had priced it more, like if I had picked up the same jacket today, which I probably would pick it up again because it's a nice piece. And this brand does pretty well for me. I just wouldn't have priced it over $50. I probably would have priced it about $38, $35, and it probably would have sold for about $28 or $30. What happened with this is I priced it too high. It sat forever. I probably said no to some reasonable offers at the time, and I just thought that it was worth more. And in the end, it sold for $19. So anyway, even though all of these items have been in my closet for a very long time, with the exception of really the cashmere sweater, I still made money on every single item. Maybe not a lot, but I still made money on everything. So that's it for that section. So I sold 117 items on Poshmark. So my best number of sales that I've ever had. I had 2 returns, and I had to cancel 1 bundle because I couldn't find a pair of shorts, which of course, after I canceled it, I found. And I was super frustrated. One of the returns was to a viewer, and she was so nice and patient with me. I have like Sharpie on my finger. So I talked about this Patagonia that I picked up at the bins that was like so dirty, and I brought it back to life. It was like, well, I'll show you a picture of it right here. I had gotten like 90% of the stains. There were still a couple faint things, and I listed it. She contacted me. She was interested. We agreed on a price. I sold it to her for $27. And I was all excited. Oh, yay, a viewer bought this, and I shipped it off. And then she messaged me and she's like, I am so sorry, but you advertised this as a quarter zip. Like, I must have said quarter zip like 2 or 3 times, like in my title, in the listing. And she said, it's a full zip jacket. And honestly, when you look at the picture, I think where the pocket is, it almost looks like a quarter zip. Anyways, I completely listed it the wrong way. I called it a quarter zip and it was a full zip. So anyways, that was one of the returns. I felt terrible. Oh, the other one, I don't think this sold to a viewer, but it was this really nice Free People velvet blazer in purple. It was like a funky purple color. It's velvet with lace. It was like mixed material on it. Not very typical Free People. So when I picked it up, I knew that it wouldn't it maybe sit for a while because it wasn't like that typical oversized Free People thing. Anyway, it sold. And when the person who bought it got it, she felt like the color didn't match the actual piece, which I struggle with sometimes. Blues give me a hard time. Pinks give me a hard time. Red kind of looks super bright sometimes. So yeah, I think whatever it was, she was looking for more purple and then she got it, it looked more magenta or vice versa. But I took the return because both of those items sold on Poshmark. And I took the return because when I looked it over, I agreed with her. And it's hard to capture the color. So sometimes when I take a series of pictures when I do my editing, I use Pick, Tap, Go. And when I do my editing and I brighten things, sometimes it does change the actual look. So sometimes I'll say the most accurate color is picture 4 or whatever. Like if I have a series of 8 pictures, sometimes there's one that stands out that looks like the best color. So I'll just say that on my listing. So anyways, I'm going to relist both of those. Actually, the Patagonia's relisted it. I relisted it a little bit higher price because I sold it to a viewer. I sold it for less than I would normally list it for because that's what I do. So that's that. Okay, so I had 117 items sell on Poshmark. I think last month they had 107. It was something like that, under 110. So a little bit of an increase this month. And then on eBay, 7 items on eBay. Let's do fast flips. So we did high-priced items. We did items that have been around too long. And now let's talk about things that sold within a week. Those are always fun to talk about. And I think they're valuable to share with you because then you can see which items are, trendy right now or moving fast, or maybe I just had good luck. It all goes into these sales. So let's get started with that category. I have probably 8 or 9 items from this section as well. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to talk about are these Pajar boots that I happen to love. I would love a pair of these for myself. These, a very kind woman at the bins was nice enough to give me, we each had one, and she was leaving and she noticed that I had it. So she came over and handed me the boot from the bins, which means it costs $3. And then they sold very quickly for $55. I think I listed them at $65. I got an offer. So that was a fast flip. Any of my fast flips, I don't know exactly unless it sticks out to me, but they were all within a week. So these Pajar boots in this olive green or army green color. I'm also doing a thing that I call Money Pile Monday. If you follow me on Instagram, I am LORIBOSTONFOUND on Instagram with no apostrophe. I'll put it down here. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that every Monday I do a thing that I call Money Pile Monday, which is when I take something that's been sitting around in my death pile, or I like to call it a money pile, or maybe it's just been in my closet forever, and I decide to list it. So after I sold these Pajar boots, I realized that in my money pile, I had another pair that I think I picked up over the summer and didn't make it a priority to list it because it was warm weather. So they are like a purple color. They're so nice. So I have those listed right now. If you're interested in these boots, they're in my Poshmark closet now. So yeah, so those sold pretty quickly. This next item that sold, I think within a week, was from my own personal stuff. Well, actually, it was Angie's, like back in her dance days and middle school time. She used to use this Pottery Barn bag, this faux fur Pottery Barn teen bag, and take it back and forth to dance. And she wasn't using it. It was in really good condition. I think I listed it, I don't know, 40-ish, and it sold for $35 within a week. So that's like all profit because that's been sitting in my house. So I was really excited that that sold pretty quickly. The next item that sold fast was a pair of boots that I was really excited to find for multiple reasons. I really love the brand Pendleton. It's just a very classic brand. And Pendleton did a collab with Timberland. So two great brands. They wore like Timberland boots. I'll show you right here with like the red plaid Pendleton in the upper part of the boot. And I saw it, I was at Savers, and I was so excited. Like the second I saw it, I had a feeling. Steve Madden does some boots like this. But I think I saw the Timberland sign or whatever, but I was super excited. But they were really beat up. I want to say they were marked either $5.49 or $4.99, and I had a 20% coupon. So they were between $4 and like $4.50 with my discount. So I picked them up and loved them up as much as I could. If these were in good condition, I would have listed them for probably $80 or $90. The boots are beautiful. These were really beat up, but I still knew that they would do well. I really didn't realize that they would sell so quickly, but I picked them up, like I said, between $4 and $5, and they sold for $35 in a very short amount of time. So I was really excited about that. The next brand that sold pretty quickly was this Affliction full zip sweatshirt. I had never found Affliction before, and in my haul video, I had a couple people comment because I called it like a biker brand, which I don't know. Like, I don't know where I was when like Affliction and Ed Hardy and all those brands were really popular. I think I was having babies and watching Blue's Clues and had no idea of fashion at that time. But anyways, this Affliction hoodie, it was really good quality. I guess I paid up for it a little bit. It was $8, and then I had a 20% off coupon. So anyways, I sold it within a couple of days for $30. I listed it, I think, around $40 or maybe $45, and maybe I would have held out if I didn't receive an offer so quickly. But I was like, you know what? This is a really fast turnaround. $30 is great. I more than doubled my money. So $30 less the 20%, so $6, 3 times 2, $6, plus the about $6 that I paid with the 20% off the 8, so say $12 off of the 30, so I made 18. Am I doing my math right here? Yeah, so hey, that's good. I more than doubled my money, and I was happy on that. The next item that surprised me because it was such a fast flip, because I have had their stuff, some of it is still in my money pile. It's a brand that I'm sure a lot of you have heard about. Some of you probably pass on it a lot of times. Some people really probably believe in it, but the brand is Logo, Lori Goldstein. And I picked up this tunic. I have 2 tunics. I think this was one that was in my money pile that I had photographed, but I didn't like the photograph, so I took another photograph of it. Anyways, I listed it. This was in a larger size. I think this was a size large. So it sold in just a couple of days for $25. And I am at the point where there are certain brands that I know if I have it, I had to have picked it up at the bins. Lori Goldstein is one of those brands. Pink is one of those brands. American Eagle is one of those brands. Like, I will always pick them up at the bins. I will rarely pick them up at a normal thrift store where the price is more than $5. So this was definitely a bins pickup, and which made it even better because it sold so quickly. So for $25, sorry, I'm just looking to see in my sales if this was the older one or the newer one. The issue that I've had with some Lori Goldstein is way back when, one of my first YouTube videos, I kind of hit the Lori Goldstein jackpot at the bins. I never heard of the brand before. I was hunting through a bin and I felt this fabric and I was like, oh my gosh, this is some of the softest fabric I've ever felt. And then I kept finding pieces. A couple were new with tag. It was just this bunch. And anyway, it was, yeah, this was a newer one. This was a size large. So that's probably why it sold fast, because the other ones that I had found a while back at the bins, I was like so excited when I found them because they were so beautiful. And I talked about it in one of my videos, like back in March of last year or February, but they were all smalls and extra smalls. And I think that's why they have sat for so long. What I need to do is go back and maybe bundle them all together, maybe put them on eBay, and I think it would probably sell faster. So this was a surprise to me that this sold so fast. Okay, a few more. These videos are always long. I hope you're still with me. This, I can't for the life of me remember where I found these. And this is why my husband, who is also my accountant, I drive him crazy because I don't write down things all the time, and I'm trying to get better. Now with the new feature on Poshmark where you can do your cost of goods, it's like a godsend to me because I will do it in the moment when I do my listing. Anyways, I got these Paige new with tag jeans. Probably got them at Savers. They were probably marked like 15 or 16, and I probably got them half off or 20%. So I'm gonna guess that I paid somewhere between $10 and $15 for these. New with tag. I don't pick up Paige all the time anymore. Paige is probably another one of those. If it's at the bins, I'll pick it up. But if it's at Savers, they tend to mark it high. Paige also tends to get that puckering in like the upper thigh, inner thigh area. So I have to really be careful with Paige jeans. These were actually beautiful. They retailed for over $200 or $199. And anyways, they sold like in a day. I think I listed them for $65, and I almost listed them lower because the comps were not great. But because they were new with tag and the retail was almost $200, I listed them for $65 on eBay and Poshmark. And then I got an offer on eBay for $51. I don't know why $51. It probably had something to do with my shipping. I probably charged like $7.99 or $8.99 for shipping or something. And so they were trying to keep it under $60 all in. So anyways, $51, those sold really quickly. Okay, this brand, I was shopping at Savers, going through the rack. Clover Canyon. Have you ever heard of this brand? I'd never heard of this brand. It was this really beautiful mixed pattern blouse, and the price tag on it was like $4.99 at Savers. I don't know if it was the fabric content or just the fact that I thought it was so cool. It had like this green, like sparkly fabric around the wrist. There was just something special about this. So I'm like, I bet this is good. I ran comps really quickly. Comps looked good. Got it home. If I knew it would photograph well. Anyways, I listed it, and I almost immediately got an offer on Poshmark for $30, I believe, or maybe it was over on eBay. I feel like I got two offers, one on Poshmark, one on eBay. Then I counted the person on eBay and she came back. So I think I had it maybe listed at 50. She offered 30. I think I countered at 42 or 45. She came back at 39, and I accepted the $39 offer because it was such a fast flip. So I will say, if I list something and I get a reasonable offer really quickly, sometimes I'm more inclined to take it because it's just quick. Excuse me. Other times, if I get a ton of interest but lowball all offers, I'll hold my ground because I'll think, well, this is pretty special, so I should hold out because so many people are, chiming in on this piece. So Clover Canyon Bolo. Maybe I just got lucky with this brand, with this particular style, but I was really excited about that. A lot of new brands this month. I'm always learning. Okay, the next thing that sold really quickly, and I've talked about this before too, are these. It was a set of 2 pairs of Athleta pants. I'm in this phase where I'm not enjoying photographing athletic pants unless they are patterned. So like just your basic blacks. And I have a lot of, I also have a lot of the bootcut pairs of leggings that I bought, and they just are not moving, whether they're Lululemon or Athleta. That style is just not as popular anymore. Anyways, these were like a straight leg Athleta. I think I picked them up one day at Savers where I hit like the mother load of Athleta and Lululemon pieces that were coming out. But these were in my death pile. I hadn't listed these in a very long time, and I just decided I'm going to list these together just because they're both tall. That's the point of this. Tall, items do very well in my closet. They sell quickly, especially athletic brands. For some reason, petite doesn't do so well, but every time I list something for tall, it does very well. I listed these. I think I listed them and maybe put $65 or something for the 2 pair, 2 different colors, same size, tall, athleta, straight leg, bootleg, whatever, wider leg, sold for $50 on eBay. So when I do, sometimes people will ask me, like, what do you do if you cross post on 2 things? Like, the first thing I do is go delete the listing from the other platform. So wherever I sell it, I hop on really quickly and I delete it. So that was a great sale. These sold fast, and I picked these up, and these were just too good to not grab. They were very lightweight. They almost look like little witches' shoes. The brand is called Betsey, B-A-C-I, or Basi. I think it's Betsey. But anyway, they were fantastic, and I listed them on both platforms. They ended up selling on eBay, I think maybe a week after. I feel like I got some offers or a lot of inquiries on these. Somebody had asked me about fit, and so it took me a little while to get back to them. But anyway, this was a fast flip. I would definitely pick these up again. These are like art to wear shoes. Like, you look at these and you know someone's gonna love them. So I picked those up, and those sold for $35. So those were my fast flips. All right, I think I wanna go over my top selling brands, and then we gotta wrap this up because we're pushing an hour now. So as far as brands go, my top selling brand this month was J. Crew, which, funny enough, I didn't mention any J. Crew items in this, but J. Crew doesn't necessarily sell super fast, doesn't necessarily sell for a ton of money, but it is a consistent brand for me. So I sold 5 pieces of J. Crew. I sold the next brand that I sold 4 pieces from was actually Athleta. So, and funny enough, there were 2 lots that I sold. So I sold those pants, the 2 pants that I sold on eBay, and then I had a 2 top lot, same style shirt that I had listed, and they sold in a bundle. So those were the 4 pieces from Athleta. I sold 3 pieces of soft surroundings, which was kind of a surprise. I do pick up soft surroundings, but I don't look at it as a brand that I would sell a lot of in 1 month, but it's kind of like a bread and butter. And I believe they all sold on Poshmark, which is another thing that would surprise you, because you would think, did all my soft surroundings? Yeah, all on Poshmark. So yeah, soft surroundings with 3 items. These, the next designers that I'm going to mention to you, or brands, I should say, were all brands that I sold 2 of. And there's probably more, but all right, I'm going to show you. So you know, I am not like Miss Spreadsheet, but these are my notes that I'm going from. So that's why it's not like always so perfect, but you get the gist. So I sold 2 Patricia Nash pieces, which one sold to a viewer. This beautiful embossed leather purse. And then another was a wristlet that I picked up at a yard sale over the summer. Just one yard sale for this like 20-something girl that I think I have sold like every piece from that yard sale. And this was one of them. I think I paid $1, and this sold for $28 or $29. Patricia Nash is another underrated brand that I love to pick up. I sold 2 Free People items. I sold 2 Lucky brand pieces. Lucky is a pretty consistent seller in my closet. I sold 2 Patagonias, 1 got returned. I sold an American Eagle caftan, and then I sold like an Aerie brand sweater, I believe. What else is there? I guess that's it. Those are my brands for the month. I'm sure I'm missing a couple, but okay, so categories. My top 2 selling categories for a month. Sweaters, I sold 22 sweaters. And I also sold like a couple capes and several sweatshirts, but actual sweaters, I sold 22 sweaters. So that's pretty good, considering I, in total sold about 125 items. 22, that was like 20% of my total sales was in the sweater category. And then I sold 13 pairs of boots slash ankle booties. That doesn't include like flats or slippers or sneakers that I sold, straight up boots. 22 sweaters, 13 pairs of boots, booties. And I didn't add them up, but I am definitely selling a lot of like vests, jackets, outerwear, all the stuff you would think that is picking up. So boots, sweaters, outerwear, all doing very well. And I think that is it. The last thing that I want to do is get for you my average selling price, which I didn't factor in yet. So what I'll do is I'll pause here and I will keep rolling because I don't want to stop now. But how's everybody doing? I hope you're enjoying my video. This would be a good time to like the video if you are enjoying it. And I will write at the bottom my average selling price, which I'm hoping is around $30, but I don't really know. So what I do to find my average selling price is I add up all of my items. So I don't think I'm going to include my direct sale items. I'm going to keep those separate because most people who are watching are not selling directly to customers like on PayPal. That I don't think, unless you're another YouTuber or maybe an Instagram person. But, and I would say that my average cost of goods is about $4. I mean, in today's video, you heard me, I was all over the place as far as like, you know, I might pick up a pair of retail arbitrage like that Haan vegan jacket I paid 20 bucks for, and then I'll get the Paul Green boots for $3. I'm all over the place, but I think on average between $4 and $5. Been really wondering if sharing my cost of goods is valuable to people. I think it is, but anyways, I think sometimes people get caught up in it. That's it. That's my video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am so sorry it took me forever to get this out, but you can see these are very comprehensive, which is why they take me a while to put out. I'm gonna hopefully get this edited and get this up tonight. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Please consider subscribing if you'd like to see more videos about reseller content. And I hope you all are having a great holiday season and it is flying by. I will be back soon. I'm probably gonna put out a few videos this week, so you'll be seeing a lot of me. Take care. Thanks so much. Have a good one. Bye.